Hey everybody, welcome back to the farm. Today we have got a windy day. We've had a lot of rain in the last 24 hours and now it is just super windy. So I'm inside the horse stall before I bring the girls over to feed them. Got the farrier coming out tonight and I am going to show you, he has been trimming the horses with an angle grinder. And when we first got the horses, their feet were in horrible shape and they needed completely reshaping and a lot of time and a lot of effort to get them into the shape that they are now. So now that they're in shape, he has been maintaining them with an angle grinder. They sell an equine angle grinder that's a little battery powered handheld angle grinder. And because it's an equine grinder, it has a high dollar price tag. You can really use any kind of grinder you want. He uses a corded grinder because corded grinders are cheaper than cordless, although cordless is a lot more convenient and you don't always have power at the barn. Most of the times you do, but a lot of times you don't. So anyway, he's on his way over. He just texted and said he's leaving the farm that is about 30 minutes away. He was doing 9 Belgians down there today. If you're new to the channel, I'm in Georgia and I've got a farm and I've got 4 draft horses. I really struggled to find a farrier locally that wanted to work on draft horses. Prior to that, I had mules. And I'm going to tell you, most of the farriers across the nation, if you've watched any of my previous videos on farriers, you know I'm hard on the farriers. And the reason I'm hard on them is because the majority of them are young. The majority of them have never worked for themselves. And the majority of them have 0 customer service. So because they went to school and they learned how to be a farrier, they've all decided, hey, I'm going to be a farrier and start my own business. But one thing they don't teach you in farrier school is business 101 and customer service 101. And these farriers do not know how to communicate and say, hey, I'm not coming today, I'm late, I'm running behind, whatever. They also don't want to work on draft horses because they're big and they're heavy, but they don't realize that you can make a whole lot more money on drafts than you can on a regular horse. And a draft is a gentle giant. It is not a hot warm blood or a hot quarter horse like they're used to working on. And they all say, I'm gonna get kicked, and if I get kicked, I'm out of work. They also want to work in a barn that's well lit, that's on a concrete center aisle. They want you to wipe the sweat off their brow. They want a fan blowing on them. They want you to bring them water. They want you to hold your horse. I mean, they're such prima donnas. And I think at farrier school, they need to take them out and let them shoe a bunch of horses out in the field so that they can realize that not everybody's got a barn that's equivalent to the school environment that they're working in, where they've got perfect situation every time, perfect lighting every time, perfect fans blowing on them, perfect concrete. Everything's perfect in farrier school. And that's what they get accustomed to. And then when they have to work outside of their comfort zone, they don't want to work for you. And they'll come one time and then they won't work for you. Not everybody's a millionaire and got a huge, massive barn. So again, I'm in Georgia. I've got an Amish farrier that comes down from Indiana once every 7 weeks. He doesn't drive. He hires an English driver, which is like you and I. He pays him a flat rate a day and pays for his hotel and his food. I don't know what that flat rate is. And he comes down here and works Monday through Thursday and then drives back home on Friday. Pretty much all the Amish are farriers and harness makers. It's just something that's born into them, something that they learn to do as a very young child. They're not certified, and you know, the farriers, the prima donna farriers are like, well, I'm certified journeyman. I'm certified this. I went to this competition and I did this and I won this and I don't really care. As long as you can shoe my horse or trim my horse barefoot where he's not lame, you don't have to be certified. But they love to have that title behind their name. This guy's English driver brings him down to Ocala, Florida. He does a few racing horses down there, but mostly drafts. Then starts working his way up, hits South Georgia. Ocala's not terribly far across the state line. Then he works his way into South Georgia, comes up through Atlanta, takes care of a few people up here, and then heads up into Nashville and does a Clydesdale farm up there. Most of the farm he goes to, they got 8 or 10 draft horses. And some of the farms let him spend the night there at their, in their barn or guest house or whatever they may have. Some of these places are pretty high end, because they're big 6-hitch competition type barns. In any event, he does about 70 horses, 75 horses in the 4 days that he's down here, the majority of them being draft. And he just capitalizes on the money out there that the prima donnas don't want to touch because they're afraid the horses are too big or whatever. I've called every farrier around here to try to get them to work on the horses, and they just don't want to do it. And I talked to the guy that's about 30 minutes away where he's on his way from right now, and where he did the 9 Belgians, and that guy said he's gone through every farrier. Like I said, they'll come out one time and then this is too much work, oh yeah, blah, 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 whatever. So anyway, it's hard to find a farrier that will work on drafts. But this guy absolutely loves it. And we're just blessed to have a real farrier, a quality farrier, somebody that knows how to communicate, somebody that knows what customer service is, somebody that knows what the value of a dollar is, and somebody that is willing to come from Indiana all the way down to Florida and then work his way back up, hitting farms on the way, picking up all the money off the table that all these little kid prima donna farriers don't want to get. Probably even never shot a draft. They may have seen one in farrier school, but they probably never ever done it. I'm hard on farriers because they need to teach them Business 101 in farrier school. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox on that. Let's get the girls over here. He's on his way, and I'll show you what he does with the grinder. Quick spoiler alert. He doesn't have any grinding wheels for the grinder, so that will be the video when he comes back in 7 weeks. So let's get on to a traditional trim this week. The grinder.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Guys must not be working hard enough or something. Huh?
Somebody's got to be your manager.
Yeah. There you go. Hey. There you go. There you go. Come on, girl. There you go. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Wind is howling.
Yeah. got,
It's actually raining now. I didn't realize it was raining.
it got real aggressive here earlier today.
First thing in the morning.
Do some local stuff around home, yeah. I was gonna take the day off, but that's not happening. There you go. There you go. Hey. There you go. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on, girl.
18 minutes and 54 seconds to trim all 4 of those feet. And that was talking between legs and picking up all the feet.
So you can see how long it took him to trim that horse, how much money the local farriers are leaving on the table, because it takes them about that amount of time to trim a regular horse, if not longer. To give you an example, the last English farrier that came over and trimmed Jewel, who was in that video, took him 2 hours. 2 hours. And he was all talk. You know, I can do this, I can do that. That guy's all business, doesn't waste any time, gets the job done. And with the grinder, he can do it in about 7 minutes. So he's super efficient. But that'll all be in his next visits video. I appreciate you guys watching this week. And as always, remember who you are. Be kind to those around you. Stand up for what you believe in.